Hi guys, I'm still switching things around a little bit. Not only I'm switching places I'm filming, I'm also switching my furnitures around a lot. So I'm gonna try to figure this out. Let me know how you like this background. But today we're gonna do my monthly manis. So it's been another month and I, as usual, wore a lot of different polishes. And this month I can see the clear theme here. More than half of them are just bright oranges and pinks. I was totally feeling the neon and all the brightness kind of colors, and also I am wearing quite a few teals, so it's just a lot of like vibrant and saturated colors, summer colors. So you're gonna see that a lot. Let's just get started because I have a lot to show. The first one I wore is actually a gray polish. This one is pretty deep and it's from Blackheart Beauty. As I mentioned many times before, I made an online purchase and none of the bottles came with the name stickers. I don't know exactly what they're called, but this one is a Iridescent collection, I guess. So this one essentially is just a stormy gray color and it has a pretty strong like bluish shimmer. In the bottle, the shimmer almost looks dual chrome that shifts from like purple to blue to green. But on the nails, it's pretty much just a blue shimmer, but still it's very vibrant and the formula is great. Two-coater, I was fairly impressed because for a color this deep, usually it's pretty hard to get the shimmer show through. This one did a fantastic job. I totally was into that. Then I wore China Glaze Bodysuit Yourself. This one is a pretty bright pinkish red color. I think it's probably still is a pink, but it's very borderline a red already. This one came from the new collection, but I got it on clearance from Ulta for some reason. I love the formula. It's very easy to use. In the bottle, you can barely see a gold shimmer, and you can't really see that on the nails, but it just makes the nails super shiny and vibrant. I think I really like it. The formula is really easy to use. It reminds me a lot of Julep Ann that I just penned a couple months ago. This one is slightly pinker than that one, but they carry a very similar vibe. I'm super happy I got that on clearance. And then I used my Orly Push the Limit. This one I also got on clearance from Target this time. I didn't expect much when I got it, but oh man, this one is so good. It's like so bright and neon-y, and it's not really a orange, it's a orange-esque coral, I feel. But it's just bright on your nails, and the formula is so easy to work with. It's not streaky by any means, it's not patchy. Usually color like this is pretty hard to work with, but this one works like a dream, and you do not need a white color underneath. Like just to coat by itself, it's perfection. I loved it. I actually wore this color 3 times in the past month. That's how much I liked it. I was so impressed by it. Gosh, just everything about it. It's so good. Then I have Cupcake polish in the color Chicago. This one I got last year in PolishCon in Chicago. It's just a kind of berry toned pinky hollow. That's about it. But this hollow is a more like an ultra hollow. It's really bright and it's really shiny. It's very intense and it's very easy to work with. Just 2 coats, no trouble at all, and I think this one was a really good one, and I know this one is like one of their best sellers on their website too. And because how hollow it is, it actually stayed hollow even under like really low lighting. Even like at night when you don't have a lot of light on in the room, you can still see the hollow, which is not something I see very often. Another really good neon-esque orange color that I wore this month is from Deborah Lippmann. This one is in the color Don't Stop Believin. This one I had for the longest time, just never wore it because I usually do not go for bright colors like this. Like this is quite unusual for me. So I've had this for years, never touched it, and I decided to wear it. And under comparison, you can see that it is much more red compared to Orly Push the Limit, and it's much more brighter. But still by itself, I think it looks like orange, not a red. This one is more or so like a jelly polish because it dries super squishy, but at the same time, you only needed 2 coats to get it opaque. So I really love polishes that do that because it's easy to work with, but also it has that jelly finish. And you do not need a white color underneath as well. It's very opaque, but very squishy, and it's very bright. I don't think this is exactly a neon, but it's very close, and I was really impressed by this one. And after a few brighter colors, I decided to go for a little bit muted pink color. This one is kind of like a purplish pink, and it's mid-tone. It's not so vibrant and crazy looking, but it has a lot of scatter hollow, I think those are micro flakies, and also some deep purple kind of color shifting flakies. And it looks really nice. 2 coats, I had no trouble. It's more like a softer pink compared to all the other ones that I just showed you. This one I got as a VIP polish from the Polish Con this year in New York, and I really enjoyed that one. That was my first ever after polish as well, so I was happy with that purchase. And then next I wore Zoya Aphrodite, I think. I'm not sure. This one is a jelly red, but it has tons of red and gold shimmer inside. At first I didn't realize it was a jelly polish. I thought it was just a shimmery cream, not shimmery cream, like a shimmer polish. But once I put it on my nails, I realized it's actually a jelly. So for that reason, the shimmer really shined through and it looked really bright. And also because it's jelly, it almost feels like it's a jelly sandwich because you have that squishy kind of look, but also there's a lot of shimmer. I think it just looks amazing. And this is another one that I've had for years but never tried. I don't know why. I was not a big fan of colors this bright before, so I had like a whole bunch of them. I'm really just trying to try them all. And let me compare it to the Deborah Lippmann that I just showed you. You can tell the Deborah Lippmann looks much more like an orange right now. This one is opaque in 2 coats, but the problem is that it's not sheer, but it's very liquidy, very thin. So when I painted my nails, it run into my cuticles a lot. I had to use like really thin coats so that way I don't have too much excess polish and it wouldn't run into my cuticles. But even with like super thin coats, I can get it opaque in 2 coats, so just be aware of that. And finally, I decided to break that orange and pink cycle by using a cornflower blue color. This one is also from Blackheart Beauty, and also it doesn't have a name, but it came from the Iridescent collection as well. This one has it's a cornflower blue, but it also has a silver shimmer, I think. The shimmer in here in the bottle looks pretty obvious, so I didn't expect it to have trouble showing up on my nails, but it's really hard to find on my nails. Anyways, I think it looked pretty nice on my nails. It made my nails look shiny for sure, and it's a good formula, and I like the color, so I'm not picky about that one. And then after that, I dived right back into my bright oranges. So here comes a straight up like Crayola kind of orange color. This one is from the Grease collection from OPI, and the color is called Summer Lovin' Having a Blast. It's just a straight up orange, and it's not neon, it's a cream, but it's like super bright. And 2 coats, opaque, and the formula is really easy to work with. It does not feel like an orange, so I'm really impressed by the formula, and I think the color looks unique and pretty. And again, under comparison, you can see the color difference here. This is the Deborah Lippmann, and this is the OPI. This one looks much more red now, but here is the red from Zoya. Just color difference if you're curious. And here is the Orly Push the Limit. You can tell this one is much more coral and pink and lighter. And then another neon pink that I wore, and also this bottle I've owned forever and I just never wore it. This is from Ginger and Liz, and the color is called Going Back to Cali. It's a cool toned pink neon color. It's very different from all the other ones that I just showed you because they're all more like orange leaning, and this one is very easy to work with as well. 2 coats opaque, no white undie required. The only thing is that this one dries matte and it dries really fast, so you probably should go with like a thinner coat, because if you go too thick it might dry before it self levels, if that makes sense. So I had really good luck with 2 thin coats and I had no problem whatsoever. And because it dries so fast, I think it would be a really easy way to do your manis if you don't have a lot of time. And of course, if you want it to be glossy, just top it with a glossy top coat. And then I wore an indie polish. This one is from Takko Lacquer. This is a new brand for me. I got it from the Polish Con this year. The color is called Sweetpeas. It's kind of like a nudie pink, a very light pink color, but it has a lot of light pink and also silver micro flakies inside, so it looks pretty sparkly and shiny. On the nails, rather than looking shimmery, it looked very frosty. It feels like it's just a frosty pink color. I'm not sure if I like that look on my nails all that much. I just don't really like frosty looks, I think, in general. And this color just, I don't think it flattered my skin tone all that much. So I was a little torn, but the formula is really good to work with. It was a little difficult to remove. It came off my nails really easily, but all the little micro flakies stuck onto my skin, so I had to like wash my hands really thoroughly to remove them, so that part is a little annoying. So again, I needed to break my bright pink and orange cycle, so I went into some bright teals. This one came from the hollow hookup box in June, I believe. This particular one is from Glisten Glow. The color is called Mermaid Squad. Oh, it's from May 2018. Anyways, it's a bright aqua teal leaner hollow color, and it has a lot of UCC color shifting flakies, and they mainly shift from green to like a deep purple. I really enjoyed it because I think the base color is pretty unique. This kind of aqua turquoise teal color isn't all that common, I feel. And the formula is a little bit on the thicker side, but it's not hard to work with by any means, and I like it. I think it's a good one. Then I have this VIP polish from Kathleen & Co. From the Polish Con this year. The color is called Fairy Tale of New York. It's a medium toned purple color with a whole bunch of like scatter hollow. It looks very kind of like cute fairy tale like. And this one is a little bit like, the formula is a little bit on the thicker side, but also it's not super opaque. I had to use 3 coats to get it opaque, and also the scatter hollow settled pretty bad. Can you tell they're all like grouped over here? But on the nails, I feel they still showed up, and I think this polish is pretty good. I wouldn't say I'm super impressed by it or anything, but it's a good polish. Then I have Zoya Ling. This one is so bright, so bright. I was watching Heather Nails, I think that's her channel name. I will have her link down below. She was talking about some of her summer polishes and stuff, and she said she thinks Ling is a perfect one for the summer. I thought that was brilliant because for whatever reason, I always categorized this color as a fall polish. And whenever fall comes around, I just don't feel like wearing it because it's like way too bright. So it makes perfect sense that this is actually a summer color for me. And I loved it. The formula was so good. It was easy 2 coats. I think if you're careful enough, you might even get it opaque in 1 coat. And I even tried to stamp with it. I think it stamps pretty nicely. So this is a total hit. I love it. I got a mystery bag from Mace Polish. I really, really love this brand. So I got some really good ones from their grab bag. And the first one I put on my nails is this dough whipped yellow polish. This one is in the color Daylight, and it has a lot of scatter hollows, and it looks like it's a shimmery finish. And this kind of yellow color is just really interesting to me, and I was too curious to find out how it works. I think this one, the scatter hollow, also settled just like the Kathleen & Co. one, but this one shakes up a little bit more easily. Anyways, I shook it up, put out my nails. I had no trouble seeing all the scatter hollows. It was a little bit more on the patchy side, which should be expected for a yellow polish, honestly. But I used 3 coats, and at the end the result looked beautiful. I think you just had to be a little bit more patient when you apply a yellow polish. So this one is a really good one. I really enjoyed it. Next Mace polish that I wore is a prototype, and it's called Prototype 21. I don't know if that means anything, but this one is a white acrylic with a whole bunch of like neon colored circle glitters, and the circle glitters are in different sizes. We've got like a neon yellow, neon orange, neon pink, so it just looks really vibrant. And also the white acrylic base has a slight purple shimmer and very maybe some hollow, scatter hollow as well. But I have to say this formula isn't easy to work with. It's pretty tricky. So first of all, you can't go with like super thick coats because it just runs and pulls. The formula itself is pretty thick. So I would suggest you go with like really thin coats, maybe just 2 coats of thin polish. It covers pretty well. But the tricky part about it is that if you go with thin coats, then you're not gonna get a whole lot of glitters on your brushes. So at the end, you might not get that glitter payoff that you wanted. So I really think the best way to do this is to do 2 to 3 thin coats to get it opaque and get your nails covered evenly, and after that maybe do some glitter placement, or even use like a sponge to sponge some of the glitters on. And of course, because they're chunky glitters, they are a little bit difficult to remove, so maybe a peel off base coat would be the best for it. I was totally on the Mace polish kick, so I went for a third one. This one is a very light lavender purple color, and this is in the color Go Fly a Carpet. It has a lot of like hollow shimmer, I feel. It just makes a nail look really sparkly and shiny. 2-coater, this one is really easy to work with, and I really enjoyed it. I also wore Julep Danielle. This one I got kind of recently, I feel, maybe earlier this year. It's a kind of metallic blue color, but in the bottle it looks like it has a slight duochrome shifting to a purple. Can you kind of tell? It's not very obvious, and on the nails it's even less obvious. I feel I just couldn't see that duochrome at all. It just looks like a oceany kind of metallic blue, which I'm okay with. Like, if you don't really expect to see the duochrome, I think this is a really good polish. Formula is easy, but if you're expecting the duochrome effect, you're probably gonna get disappointed. Then I wore Sugar Rush Crush from Tinted Polish by LEXI. This one came from the June polish pickup, and I think it looks exactly like the turquoise stone, like jewelry. And also all the flakies, they are shifting from a yellow to a purple. It kind of looks like those little specks on the turquoise stone as well. So it really, like, whenever I look at it, that's what it reminds me of. But I think the polish itself is inspired by Wreck-It Ralph, that movie, I'm pretty sure. I think this formula is a little bit on the thicker side, and because it has so much flakies inside, the brush gets a little bit more like fluffy because it just has too much in it. So it's a little bit tricky to maneuver, but it's not like super difficult. So I think it still is a really nice polish, and I just used 2 coats of it. I wore another OPI. This one is also from the Grease collection. The color is called You're the Shade That I Want, and I love this one. Oh my goodness, this one is just so good. It's almost a 1-coater if you're careful enough. I did 2 coats because I missed some spots. Oh my gosh, it's just so good. Like, this color though, it's out of the world bright and pretty, but still kind of classy. Because how much I liked it, I didn't really want to remove it the next day, so I just stamped something on top of it. I pulled out my Julep Michelle. This one is a deep navy color. It's almost kind of like a borderline black, but this one stains the nails really bad. It's a 1-coater. I figure it probably could be a really good stamping polish. So I pulled out my stamping play from Pueen. I kept calling it Pueen, I realized, but there's no R in it. It's just Pueen, I think. This set that I got is from Amazon, and it has a whole bunch of like little circle like stamping plates. I had this one like for years. If I can find it, I will have it linked down below, but this one specifically is number 45. The pattern that I used is the bottom middle one, and it just has those kind of strings and it has little circles on them. I think it looked elegant, and I use a stamper from them as well. I have a couple more like crystal, the clear kind of stampers. I just have no idea where they went. So I tried out this one, and I also couldn't find any of my scrapers, so I just used my like a membership card to scrape. So at the end, you can see I have a lot of circles that are kind of like half circles, but honestly they should all be solid. So the polish was skipping a little bit. I couldn't really fill in all these solid parts. That's a little frustrating. I think it's probably the stamper, because it just wouldn't pick up. Like on the stamper, I already see that it skipped all the spots. So I ordered more stampers, and hopefully I can try some different combinations of other stampers and scrapers and try to fix that problem. But if you know for sure what happened, let me know, because I'm still kind of new to stamping. Alright, we're on the last two now. I wore my Zoya Zuza. This one is a very bright jade green. It has a strong, very strong silver shimmer in it. I think this formula is pretty typical for Zoya and I liked it. I think it's a good effect, but it stained my nails. Like, no, it stained my skin when I removed it. I don't know if I like the color on me all that much. It looks old in a way, like kind of old lady like. It just feels weird and I don't think I'm a big fan of this polish itself, but since I stamped, I wanted to stamp more, so I pulled out the same Julep Michelle polish and I used a different stamping plate. This time I picked the Pueen Paradise 01 plate and I used the image on the bottom left of it. It looks kind of like a water marble pattern and I think it stamped out pretty nicely, and it had the same issue that it was skipping some of the solid parts. So I'm pretty sure it's not the plate's problem because it happened to two different plates. And honestly, I feel the two colors are a little bit too similar. I wish the color was a little bit more different so the pattern could show up a little bit better, but still I think it turned out really pretty and really nice and I enjoyed that one. So that's all of it now, and I wanted to ask you guys if you want me to maybe shorten this somehow. I'm thinking maybe I should just do like a bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks kind of mani thing. I don't want to do weekly manis because there are times I would just do like project polishes for a week straight, then I would have nothing to talk to you guys about. But then there are weeks I would try 7 different polishes. So I think maybe every 2 weeks would be a little bit better. What do you guys think? Like, then that would be weird because I can't call it monthly manis. I would call it bi-weekly manis, or maybe just monthly mani part 1 and part 2. I don't know. Any thoughts, or you would prefer to see the longer video anyways? Yeah, so let me know your thoughts, and I just feel it gets a little overwhelming at the end of the month, like I just have way too much to show. I wanted to remind you guys that I'm still doing the D-Stash giveaway. I do this every month in my monthly manis, and sometimes I just forget to mention it. So if you're interested, just leave a comment down below, and the rules will be listed down below as well. Make sure you check that out. Those are just polishes I'm de-stashing. So some of them are new, some of them are swatched or used once. They're definitely still in good conditions, and I only open this to US addresses only because just shipping nail polish is too difficult international, and that'll be it. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel so you can see more updates from me in the future. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.